Well, good morning everybody, this is DearMamaSal on a delightful Tuesday morning. It's 12 degrees already here in southern British Columbia, making it about 53 in American. However, the clouds are rolling in. They're saying that we have rain on the way. I was very grateful this morning to have a very intelligent colleague at work. The reason being is I accidentally left my cell phone at work last night. I was busy working, and then one of my colleagues said to me, "Okay, are you ready to go?" And I said, "Oh yes, sure." And I packed up, shut everything down very quickly and just left, and left my phone on my desk. So the good news is that it wasn't removed and it was still there. But here's the intelligence of my colleague. She was alerted to it because the alarm was ringing. I don't know about you, but she didn't just work out how to turn it off. She then immediately phoned me at home to make sure I was awake, which I wasn't. Now that's a friend. And so I said, "Well, thank you so much for waking me up." Now I wanted to make a point here, which is we were talking about survival yesterday, and so I wanted to make a point here that how do you wake up without your cell phone? Now I was pretty sure I was covered because I had my old travel clock with me, and I'm a slob watch here, also has an alarm on it. Now I normally have this set very early, like an hour before I have to get up. So it's sort of like okay, get out of that deep sleep type alarm. And then it was a comedy of errors last night, because guess who took off her watch to charge it? So, and this, I'm a slob watch, actually vibrates to wake you up. Doesn't make a noise, it vibrates, which by the way is very effective in the normal scheme of things if you are wearing it. So, and my travel alarm apparently is so old now that it still keeps on ticking, so to speak, but does not ring any bells anymore. So it's time for a new travel clock in my life. But it really was quite amusing, I thought. Now the other amusing thing is I just heard on the news, which I quickly caught up with before I started the vlog, that there was a major hold-up on my route to work this morning. So here's the joke. The chances could have been that I was actually on time, and I would have been caught up in a most terrible traffic jam. I'd probably been late for work anyway. But we don't know that for sure, but it's just interesting that they were just saying they've only just cleared the roads. So I don't know quite what happened, but the good news is there's no longer a delay on my route to work. Yay! I'm pleased to hear that. Now I really have to say, to those of you who have been following my progress with my steps, I definitely want to say that I must be a lot fitter than I was. I must be. Because as you probably have heard, I am doing about twice as many steps as I was when I got the watch, which I believe was in July. And I didn't do anything major. You know, when I heard that I was meant to be doing 8,000 steps, and at the time when I measured the first day, I was doing about 3,000. I don't mind telling you that I was absolutely demoralized. It was like, I'm at 3,000 and I'm meant to be doing 8,000. I don't know how I'd find time to put that many extra steps in. And I was quite despondent, and what I decided to do was not to try and go for 8,000. That was my first decision, was not to try and go for 8,000. My decision was, let's go for 3,500. In other words, let's just up the number of steps you're currently doing, and we'll work our way towards 8,000. Does that make sense? I didn't want to scare myself off doing it. I didn't want to fail. I wanted to succeed because that would give me the willingness to carry on. And the other thing was that every week I looked at the totals, and the watch allows you to, or the app does, to reset your goals all the time. And so all I do is at the end of every week I would see where my average was and just up it a little bit. And so what I've been doing is very quietly inching my way, or stepping my way forward towards the 8,000 steps a day. And I'm already averaging very close to 6. So that's very close to 8,000 now. I'm sort of 2/3 of the way there, which gives me great hope. So I'm hoping you all understand the reverse psychology of what I did. I didn't go for the 8,000. Why? It's like diet and it's like exercise in my mind. My mind just shuts off and knows I can't do it, so it doesn't even try. It's like I don't want to set myself up to fail like that. I wonder how many of you are like that as well. Now, there are days, of course, when I can do the impossible. All right, and certain things, depends what it is that's motivating me. But I can get on the total gym. You know that, you've seen me do it. But will I do it long term? No. So what happens to me is I do it until I get bored, and then I lose interest in myself. Now, of course, the number one goal here was to get a buddy that wouldn't allow me to slack off too much. That was Angela, and still is, thank goodness. So, last night, in fact, this week, because I've been trying to get it higher again, I decided that if I keep on doing what I've always done, I'm going to keep having the same results, right? We all know that saying. It's a very, very good saying. If you spend your day doing exactly what you did yesterday, you will only do what you did yesterday. So it requires that something change. You need to put a change in somewhere. So what I did was last week, I decided to spend a little bit of time each evening starting to clear the summer clothes out of my closet. Now that's what I call a multitasking thing. Number one, it's clearing my closet ready for the fall, and number two, in fact for the winter, and number two, it's getting me some more steps in, because what is amazing to me is how many steps I do on Sundays when I do the big cook-up. Sundays, I never have a problem reaching my goals. Saturdays, absolutely. I do 2 broadcasts. I sit on my butt for 4 hours of the day. And I sleep the rest of it. You know what I mean? I wake up late on Fridays, and then I do another 4 hours of sitting on my butt doing broadcasts. So it's good to know that on Sundays I can actually do quite well. All right, so here was the thing that I thought about, which was I just need to add some time in each night doing something productive, multitasking. In other words, something that will put steps on, but without my really thinking about it. And I don't have to do 3 hours or anything. I just need to do something to keep the steps going. So that's what I started to do. I started to just take a few things, not overkill, not I have to do an hour a night or whatever, just take a few things out of the closet and pack them in a container. And I've been doing that very well. Now last night, I decided to make another change, which is had my computer in the dining room and not in my bedroom, where I sit on my butt and watch the news as well as edit and stuff like that. So I changed the position of my computer as well, and I had that in the dining room, and that I found made a difference as well. And then I said, okay, fine. In the time, because there are two things that we know that happens when I'm doing the vlog each night. Number one, there's the editing of it, which of course, well, first of all, you got to get it from the computer to from the camera to the computer. That's time, but not too much time. Then you've got a bigger hunk of time where you have to sit and edit. So there's not much you can do about that. That does take time. And you can't walk and edit at the same time. The next thing that happens is that I have to wait for that footage to process into the computer. After you've edited, you turn it into a movie. That does take time. So that's the time now that I get up and go and do things, clean up. And I make sure, I clean up the kitchen and start getting dinner ready, or do something constructive in that time, something that's going to cause me to move. Then I come back, and now it's time to upload from the computer to Google. And that takes a little bit of time, so that's another time that I get it going, and then off I go again. And then I came back, and then you've got to wait for Google to process it. That takes a lot of time. More time to be moving. And then finally you put on the annotations and the other little things on it, and then you publish it. So that's fine. So I managed yesterday and I said my reward is that when all that is finished, I can take the computer back to my bedroom and plug it in, and the time is mine after that. I can do what I like. Because that's my DearMamaSal time done. Now I can do what I like. The interesting thing to me was because I didn't have those distractions, and because I was using the time well, I got the vlog up much faster than normal. And also, I put in 7,000 steps yesterday. Yay! So what is all this about? What's my thought for the day? The thought for the day is baby steps. If you know that you set goals so high that you scare yourself, just try setting some goals that require baby steps, and especially on an issue like health. For example, if you know that smoothies probably are good for you, or whatever, green juice or whatever it is, but you don't want to spend the money on a juicer, and most of us probably won't use it more than for a month, to be honest. Some people will use it for the rest of their lives, but most won't. Then, say to yourself, okay, I'm going to buy a bottle of green juice at the market each week. And if I hate the look of it, and that's what's stopping me from drinking it, by the way, it tastes great from my experience. Every time I bought green juice, it tastes really good. Every time Benji's made me green juice, it looks, it tastes really good. It looks like so-and-so, but... and my experience is when I drink green juice, I actually put it in stainless steel coffee mug. Why? So I can't see the color. So simple. If you can't see the color, then your sense is not distracted by it. You just work on the taste. And my taste buds love it. It's just my eyes that are offended. And maybe that has something to do with my advertising background. I don't know. So baby steps. Think about the goals that you need. You know that tidying up my house is always an issue for me. So I've started to pick little areas, not the whole house, just little areas that I need to spend a little bit of time on, because I'm just never going to do it if I have the whole house to clean, am I? I mean, how stupid would that be? But you know, yesterday, for example, I had a little corner table that had not had a lot of attention for quite some time and was holding quite a lot of stuff. And I literally just took a few minutes in between doing the editing and, you know, took a damp cloth and wiped everything down, including the table, and put it all back. It looked sparkly clean. And I was so proud of myself. Felt good. And helped me on my way to 7,000 steps. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, remember to look after yourself a little bit more than you're looking after others. For a lot of you, that's what you need to hear. Bye-bye for now.